I've been playing FIFAs and FCs for over a decade, and never have I felt as less in control when it comes to dribbling in FC 25. Maybe situations like these look familiar to you when you start playing. Defender after defender is challenging you for the ball and you struggle to maintain control, or you get pressured into bad passing options. The result is always the same: you just lost the ball. But we are not here to complain. I'm Benjamin, a former pro player, and in this video I will try my best to explain how you can improve your dribbling in FC 25. Dribbling is anything but easy, but still plays a vital role in our attacks. We have to dribble to gain ground on the pitch or open up passing angles for teammates to distribute the ball. In this video I will provide you with several tips on not only how you dribble better, but actually how to find the right balance for dribbling in your attacks. I think this is quite important to understand and to set the right expectations. We won't do any dribbling solos like Mase in his prime. That's not how dribbling works in FC 25. But we can still try to get the best out of it to bring our attacks to success. So what makes dribbling so hard? The challenges. 1. Turning with the left stick dribbling and follow-up actions are slower, which can ruin your timings or make you more susceptible to tackles. Especially when you pick up pace, the follow-up action with the next contact of the ball might take too long. 2. No security anymore by just protecting the ball with your body. Before, you could use your body as a natural shield to make it harder for the opponent to get to the ball. Just face away from the opponent and you're safe. But in FC 25, the defenders have an easier time to apply pressure from the side or behind. 3. Defenders can recover really fast. Even when you make a good move or surprising turn, the defender is back on their feet and can go for the next challenge. Overall, this means much more pressure from defenders and a constant threat to lose the ball. So let's fix that. Dribbling starts with the first contact. Actually, this is one of the most important decisions you have to make. How do you control the ball, and this is in which direction and with how much pace. So every time you control a ball, you have to scan your surroundings and your options. Where are the defenders positioned? Where are your teammates? Which defender is selected by the opponent? Where is the space, or will it be created? These are the typical questions. Based on this, you make a decision. Especially the question whether you can control the ball with sprint or not is very important. You can only sprint if you have a lot of space in that direction. Otherwise, it's a heavy commitment which can result in an immediate loss of ball possession. In general, a great first touch can open up the pitch for you. Especially if the opponent is marking you closer, on every first touch you have the chance to mind game the opponent and outmaneuver them. In this situation, I play a pass to my CM, and as you can see, the opponent is already pretty close. I have 3 typical passing options that I can go for, depending on how I control the ball. I could play to my other CM, but the defender is marking him quite close. If I turn to the upper side, I can play to my right back. But based on the movement of the opponent's player, I get the sense that they anticipate a first touch to the upper side. Hence, my idea is to counteract that movement and control the ball to the lower side. But I don't overcommit with it, so still with a bit of safety away from the opponent. In the moment of the first touch, I realize that my read is good, can immediately turn forward, and with just the first touch, I open up the third passing option in this scenario, the pass up forward to my striker. It's small movements and subtle decisions like these that can give you a bit more room to breathe, especially in the midfield. This is something which we call the fundamentals. It's the basic things that, if you understand them and make them right, already give you an advantage. That's why we put a lot of focus on this in our The Guide Plus app, which provides you the opportunity to learn playing FC in the most structured way with our comprehensive courses. If that sounds interesting to you, click the icon in the top right corner or the link in the video description. But don't worry, we also cover the tricks and techniques that define the meta, for example in our FC 25 release meta course. The next challenge when it comes to dribbling is the missing security when shielding the ball with your body. My solution is pretty simple: safety first and rather try to keep your distance. Before FC 25, I was actually looking for those pressure situations, because you could manage it quite well and with a good move gain an advantage. But as of now, this chance isn't there anymore. You get dispossessed of the ball too easily. Still, it is vital that you observe the opponent and their selected player. See how they approach you and the ball. What is the angle they are coming from? Do they go in or hold the position? Observing the opponent is a key element of mastering the left stick dribbling. We use this information to move with the ball in a way that the opponent can't access the ball as easily. Every time the ball is open to them, we are in an immediate risk of losing it. So one key principle of dribbling still is controlling the ball away from the opponent. Here the opponent is not directly approaching me, but moves heavily to the top, so I go for a decisive turn to the lower side. I then try to explore the area in front of me, but the opponent makes a quick switch and is about to intercept me there. Once again, I change direction in 90 degrees, but the opponent anticipates that as well. At last, I turn away from the approaching opponent, controlling the ball away so they can't tackle it as easily. With this turn, I avoid the opponent and have an open passing lane up front. As you can see, by paying attention to the opponent, I was able to outmaneuver them, but still it was a close affair. So you won't be able to always keep your distance. I noticed that actually the shielding button can help you out in these situations. You do it by pressing and holding L2 or LT. In the last couple of years, this was just not required, but in FC25, shielding can actually help you to withstand some of the pressure. Especially in those situations when you get all of a sudden into a tight space, using shielding can be a neat way to keep holding position and possession of the ball. But it also slows down your play quite a lot, because you're quite stationary while shielding. Also, it's not a magic button for just keeping possession. Depending on the angle or players involved, the opponent can still get to the ball, so also use it with caution and not just blindly in situations where losing the ball puts you in danger of conceding right away. Overall, my learning is to play it safe and be quicker to distribute the ball, instead of trying to bait the opponent, which leads me to the next point. Try to be effective with your dribbling. An extended dribbling won't get you much, especially when you're surrounded by several defenders. When dribbling, try to set your target you want to accomplish and try to get it done as soon as possible. Targets could be creating a passing angle or setting up a pass in general, or out-dribbling the one defender to then pass or shoot. Don't underestimate the value of this. This is how attacking works in football and also in FC. I know that this isn't as easy in FC25 because everything is slowed down. Dribbling, passing, but still this is the core of building up your attack and chance creation. So as long as you keep the ball moving and gain ground, you move in the right direction. In this situation, we receive the ball on the wing, but immediately turn to the inside to open up ourselves for two passing options. We played a bit more conservatively with a pass to our CM. From here, it's a decisive first touch to the top again to get around the opponent in front of us, and with just a few touches, we open up the passing angle for our striker. Once again, we control the ball with a concrete intention. In that case, to set up the pass to our winger down below. We keep up the pace by controlling the ball with sprinting. We do one small move to cut to the inside, more about that in just a bit, to create a shooting angle and score. Or not. As you can see, it is the composition of dribblings and passes that make the attack flow. Another factor for dribbling in FC is pace control. As soon as you pick up momentum by sprinting, things can go wrong real quick. So only consider sprinting when you have a lot of space in front of you. As a rule of thumb, keep your fingers off the sprint button in midfield situations unless you are able to pace through. In all the other situations, sprinting is a killer for your dribbling, as it makes you really susceptible for tackles, since it will take you longer to carry out direction changes. In FC24 and before, you were able to manage your pace quite well with ball rolls to get out of tricky situations when you were over optimistic with sprinting. You could use the ball roll to slow down and protect the ball with it. But in FC25, this move isn't such an easy fallback solution anymore. So once again, we have to be more cautious. I know, it's pretty annoying. But there's one thing that you can do which is absolute bonkers right now. This sprint boost. That is a broken mechanic in the game right now which allows you to accelerate in a completely unrealistic fashion. Big disclaimer here. When you watch this video later in the season, it might have been patched. For the sprint boost, you have to press L1 or LB to have at least 1 or 2 touches in strafe dribbling, and then all of a sudden you explode by letting go of L1/LB and pressing the sprint button. It works best if you get a small angle out of the strafe dribbling into the sprint. We cover this in detail in a tutorial at the Guide Plus alongside other meta-defining techniques in our release meta course. Feel free to check that out, the link is in the video description. It is as strong because you don't only have the sudden burst in pace, but you can also vary the angles in which direction you accelerate. On top of that, the few touches of strafe dribbling might bait the opponent to move out a bit, which makes it even more destructive for the opponent's defense. Another great tool to out-dribble your opponents could be the use of skill moves. In the video that you can click on your screen right now, we explain one of the most powerful skill moves in the game right now, the Trickster fake shot. But that's it for this video about dribbling. I hope I was able to provide you some help. Thanks for your attention, keep a clean sheet, I'm out.